bit of a panel show tonight. I'm going to be traveling through the States for the next couple of weeks. In case you're new here, I'm a historian and I cover a lot of geopolitical stuff. A friend of mine started a new show, and I told him he needs to introduce the fact that he's an ex U.S. Air Force major, and so I also should take my own advice. I'm joined here today with Warhound. And hopefully another guy who's muted himself. So
there's supposed to be two of them, Stoner and Will.
Yeah. So
a couple of my
compatriots they come in.
Yeah, a couple of my compatriots from our show, Warwolf. But just to continue on with the conversation we were just having.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. We officially, hey, Will. We have seen the formation of the world's first mega corporation, and it's a good fucking day, because regardless of what anybody wants to fucking try to say, when you have as productive of a company as SpaceX, Boring Company, XAI, and all of them, yes, baby girl, you're just, I'm sorry, like when it comes to productivity, like you've got no hope of catching up. Like Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic, they're fucked. They can't catch up. They can't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, from what I understand is that they are still doing a little bit of competition. Blue Origins might be getting the equivalent of the NASA lander for the moon mission stuff. So they're going to be in a supporting role. But
no. It basically at this point in time is that, you know, given how successful Starship was in this last test, they have shifted to basically Virgin Galactic, and what we're seeing is basically the establishment of Cunard, and then the ancillary companies that supported Cunard.
Yeah,
and you know. It's just like, oh, get fucked. Like anybody who's bitching because, oh, he's a trillionaire now because of the valuation of his companies. It's like, yeah, he has assets valued at 1.2 trillion. Like, get over yourselves.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so stupid.
Yeah, I was talking to that guy who I mentioned earlier that I had interviewed on the show. I will politely not say his name because he might ever watch this one day. But he was arguing that, you know, we need an income tax on the valuation of companies. I'm like, we
watch
capitalism.
No. Just good market sense. Scott Bessent would march that dude into his office and put 2 in the back of his skull.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but get over yourself. Real world doesn't give a shit about your feelings.
Yeah. And it's always like the Democrats or the left are always looking for an opportunity to tax things for the sake of taxation. It's not like, guys, you're not good stewards of the wealth. Go prove that.
Yeah, and parasites for the sake of being parasites.
Right.
Will Stoner, you got any comments to make?
Oh, I'm listening. If I will comment.
Likewise, just listening.
All right, whatever. But yeah, no, it's simply put, it's. I'm sorry, but you know, you get over yourselves. This is how it's going to be from now on. Oh, and by the way, when Toyota and Komatsu and a few of these other companies start doing their mergers, and they start doing their conglomerates, get ready, motherfuckers, because eventually you're gonna be wishing that you had been willing to buy in for the sake of buying in and prospering, rather than being an ideological piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because like right now, like I've already determined after seeing the opening day and realizing like, okay, so there's no real shenanigans here. Like I'll just pull up the numbers again for the sake of the discussion. The day range for today, which today was opening day, Friday, June 12th. On the low, it was 149.34, which, mind you, opening valuation of $135 a share. So already we're opening $15 basically above valuation price. And then a high of 176.52. Ending the day at 160.95. So
it was 135 was the initial offering, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the initial offering. That was the initial valuation offer. So that's what everybody was like, okay, this is what we're gonna start at, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, 135 going up to 160.
Yep.
Like, and mind you, the trade range is what matters here, because then at the point that we saw, okay, first wave got in there, they made their money, they got the fuck out. Second wave started going in, and second wave settled a very nice number. 160 is a nice, solid fucking number.
Mm-hmm.
So now we'll see what happens next week with third wave, when the 401ks and the Roth IRAs and all them start getting in there. And then it's like, oh, I'm expecting next week to settle around 170 to close the week. Which at that point in time, if it settles around 170, I'll give it a range. I'll give it, for the sake of everybody, I'll give it a range: 168 to 172. If it settles on that range, oh brother, you need to get the fuck in this shit.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to keep going.
Yeah. Like when Tom was telling me to buy gold at 1,800, and I did.
And then now you're sitting pretty.
Yeah, pretty much. I had to sell about an ounce for an emergency, which Tom said he had to do one time, and he hated it, and I did totally hate the fact that I had to sell it. But I had a situation where I needed cash for the next day really badly, so and I took that loss. But I mean, even though it was a loss, it was like I bought at 1,800 and had to sell an ounce at $4,000. I'm like, not that worried about it.
Yeah, no, and at the end of the fucking day, see here, this is so me and my dad, we've got a thing currently in the works getting pushed forward. David, I've kind of given you an idea of what's going on. As the baby tries to grab stuff off my desk. No. But one of the key things as part of that is having a liquid pool to pull from.
Yeah.
And because, not selling off assets is a good thing. And in the event that we have to sell off assets, it's going to be like, okay, what assets do we actually want to fucking let go? Because I'll tell you this right now, SpaceX, that shit is going in the portfolio, and that shit is staying in the fucking portfolio.
Yeah. I have to talk to my broker next week about that and getting some SpaceX for sure.
I would say wait until Monday, or not Monday. Wait until Wednesday. See where it's at, and then I would push in. That'd be my personal play, but
yeah,
because I wasn't able to get in on the open, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, neither. I wasn't really thinking about it, but yeah.
Well, the minimum was $2,000, so I just didn't have the
exactly.
I'm sitting at 500 in my account right now, so I'm like, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting week. So, any more talk about SpaceX and Elon Musk?
Not honestly speaking, the only other thing that really matters in regards to it is the fact that this is going to the Europeans are fucked.
Of course.
They just from the perspective of now they're the losers in this equation, because they were trying to them and their assets were trying to sabotage this IPO. They were trying desperately to keep the merger from happening between XAI, SpaceX, Starlink, and Boring Company. And now that merger has been approved, the IPO has happened. Now Elon Musk is reliquidated or recapitalized.
Right.
Like, they lost. Now they have to pull back, reconsolidate, and adjust their attack strategy because at this point in time, it's like, hey, you lost on this front, bitch. Get fucked.
Yep.
I came in late by a minute or however many. Did you touch on the fact that this is now worth more than some countries, not small countries either?
Oh yeah, yeah. If Elon Musk was his own nation, like just Elon Musk himself as a nation, he would knock Poland out of the top 20 in terms of GDP.
Nice.
He would knock them out of the top 20. They'd be number 21.
Yeah, no. Years ago, I was at what is called Connections, and was under sequestration. And Connections is where Americans bring in, and there are peril organizations in Canada, the United Kingdom, and I'm even told France now. But Connections is basically a thing where you bring all the war gamers from the academic, commercial, and military war gamers together in the United States. I was attending because I was a commercial developer, and I have 4 war games under my belt. I don't think I had any under that time, but I was actually writing at the time, and I had a situation. Oh yes, I do remember. Yes, I was definitely writing because my article was sitting on this guy's desk. Anyways, we had a situation where this guy was, I don't know if you ever heard of Jerry Purnell, the science fiction writer.
Yeah, I know the name. I don't know any work, but I've heard the name before.
Yeah, same.
So his son Phil's there, and he's part of one of these weird think tanks. They call the guy who ran the place Yoda in the Defense Department. Blaine Holtz talks about this guy all the time. I met him once. So, basically, Bill Purnell's coming out and he's doing a display of all the future threats. And at one point, he does the next thing. He's like talking China, North Korea, Mexican drug cartels, and then next clip, super villains. And he's got Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk.
Jesus Christ.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, real quick, JP commented, yes, it made Elon Musk the first ever trillionaire, and I'm happy for it because I'd rather Elon Musk than any of the other dragons that are currently in existence.
Yeah, definitely.
Hold on, give me a second.
Oh, I was going to say, I was just agreeing there. So, yeah, so that's kind of the Elon Musk situation. I've had some other, like I once met Thomas Schilling at one of these events. Guy developed game theory.
Okay, I apologize. Apparently my girlfriend forgot that Marcy started crawling this morning.
Oh no!
And so she's like, wait, and she came over. She's like, she's fucking crawling, and I'm like, yeah, duh. She's been crawling since this morning.
And you didn't tell her. Ooh.
No. She knew. She just forgot because she went and took a nap. And like this chick, I love her to death, but her memory is shit when she first wakes up. She doesn't remember jack shit.
Mm.
Yeah. So related to a magpie. Gotcha.
But yeah, no, I just to finish the point I was making before I got interrupted. Yeah, I would rather Elon Musk because him as a dragon is a lot better option than say some of the other fuckheads like I'm gonna say it, fucking Larry Fink or something like that.
Well, not any Larry Fink. Guy who runs ChatGPT.
Or fucking what's the Smith dude, the guy that does OpenAI.
Yeah.
JP, he would be, if he was a nation, Elon Musk would be the 20th wealthiest country by GDP. He would knock Poland out of the top 20.
Yep.
But anyways, the facts of the matter is that, you know, it's hilarious for me personally
Mhm.
that because you brought up the whole wargaming thing and these people who have they Sam Altman, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I was trying to remember his name.
Freed.
So these people that try to play up these different threats and whatnot, and have we not noticed that all of them are fucking so off base? It's unfucking real. Like,
Yeah, pretty
like
much.
at this point in time, it's like, oh, the Russians are the biggest threat to the U.S. The Russians are actively trying to work with us on every fucking little thing possible.
Yeah.
Oh, the Chinese are the biggest threat in the fucking world. The Chinese are literally sitting there. They're like, we want these guys to fucking rejoin our country because by all rights, if you actually go back and you look at the historical record, they're part of our country, and they the government that we rebelled against is responsible for all the bullshit. So on and so forth. They always try to play up these different things, and then you look into the background and you realize who's actually fucking saying what, and you're like, oh, it's fucking Europeans.
Pretty much.
And mind you, it's not just everybody who's like, he's not everything is London's fault. Yeah, a lot of it's fucking Paris's fault too.
Oh yeah, God, the French get around.
Yeah. Well, considering how often they go bowling with people's heads. Yeah, they get around.
So, John Kiriakou was out there and he said something like, yeah, the French are murder psychopaths. I'm like, oh yeah, I've known this for years. Like,
well, dude, fucking it's actually really funny. The people who are like, oh, the U.S. is responsible for all the devastation in Vietnam, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And response to Stoner real quick. It's all good, dude. We weren't sure what was going on. And it's like, motherfucker, Vietnam was at war for fucking 20 years before we got there. Like, what do you mean?
Got dragged into it by France.
Yeah. Literally, and mind you, they threatened us to get us to go in. Like, we had to do the Gulf of Tonkin in order to justify it to the fucking to the US populace. But then if you actually look into it properly and you realize, like, oh, the French were threatening to fucking to come at our gold reserves.
Yes.
And then they went after our gold reserves anyway, and then right. Nixon closes the gold window.
Yep. Never quite put that one together before, but I did know about the fact that Dien Bien Phu happens because the French are trying to harvest the opium supply.
Yep. Well, okay, so David, just for your recollection, remember that Charles de Gaulle crashes out. What is wrong, baby girl? Holy shit. Are you good? Oh, she's entertained. Oh, okay. She's entertained by daddy being, himself. But you got to remember, Charles de Gaulle crashed out the French economy in order to kill Bretton Woods. Because the Bretton Woods Agreement, now a lot of people are like, oh, Bretton Woods was unsustainable. Yes, Bretton Woods was unsustainable in the long term, but in the short term, Bretton Woods gave us a huge fucking leg up on a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
It basically gave us soft control of the entirety of Europe.
Yep.
But then Charles de Gaulle crashes out the French economy, kills Bretton Woods right then and there, because at that point in time, all the debt and everything gets all fucked up because the Brits can't pay the debt back because the French aren't paying the Brits. It's kind of a replay. It's kind of a replay of what happened in 1924 when Winston Churchill repegged gold or the pound to gold at the pre-war price. Because then all of a sudden the Germans aren't able to make the reparation payments to the French because the French are demanding the reparations in gold, and the Germans are sitting there like, we can't fucking make these payments.
Yep. Oh, and remember, why did the British launch Trotsky and Lenin into Russia in 1917?
Yeah.
The French have heavily leveraged into the Russian economy. The Russians own so much war debt to the French, and then the Soviets. One of the first things they do is repudiate the debt. We don't owe your bondholders anything.
Yep. And mind you, the Soviets that were responsible for that were not the Soviets that were in the pockets of the British and the French. It was the other. I forget what the name of that specific faction is, but it was the Russian faction of the Soviets. Because remember, you have the Georgian faction eventually under Stalin.
Right.
Then you have the Ukrainian faction under Trotsky, which that was the faction that the Soviets purged during. Like, a lot of people don't realize this, is that it was a bunch of Ukrainians that got purged during the purges that Stalin launched. And then the Russian side of it. No, Stoner, the Germans, so the Bavarian Illuminati were used to get Lenin into Russia, but Lenin was not built up by the Germans. The Lenin was built up alongside Trotsky by the British and French.
And our friends in New York. So in 1917,
yes,
Trotsky is running an obscure Soviet or communist newspaper, but he has a working electric fridge and a car with a driver.
Yeah.
During World War I, the Russians, czars, didn't trust their own bank printing to happen because they were worried about strikes. So they moved all their printing of the ruble to New York City.
Yep.
So when Trotsky goes to Canada, the Canadians initially refused to let him through, and then they get, of course, their orders from London to let him through.
Yep. The arrest in Labrador for anybody.
Russian cats.
Or not Labrador, but the arrest in Nova Scotia for anybody who is unaware. That's the event that David just referenced.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. Like at the end of the fucking day, like yeah. There's a whole background to this that is absolutely insane. And, you know, again, you got people like Laura Loomer, for example, who constantly want to play up the fucking stupid games, which at this point in time, I'm convinced Laura Loomer works for the Bingavir faction.
Yeah. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
So I found briefly supported her because I found her stupid hot. But then eventually I kind of like, not so much when I saw some of the videos of her being white girl drunk.
Yeah. When she dolls up and edits photos, she's not bad looking, but then as soon as you see her in real life, you realize like, oh, really bad plastic surgery.
Yeah.
But no, she's you know, being a member of the Bingavir faction, like she goes after Russia the way she does. She goes after China the way she does. It's like, oh yeah, we know who you work for. Mm-hmm. Like you work for the ultra-nationalist faction within Israel, which, you know, at this point in time, you know, we know that they basically work for London and France. I actually, funny enough, I'm drawing more of a line to Paris. Jeez. I'm drawing more of a line to Paris with her than anything.
Yep.
Like a lot of the with that faction, I should say, because a lot of the shit that's been going back and forth, it's like, actually, this might be the frogs.
Yeah.
Especially with the shit that's going on with the Druze, which we know the Druze draw almost exactly back to Paris.
Oh yeah, definitely the Druze do that, and then you have the fact that you have Sykes-Picot. We always kind of, because we're so London focused, we were looking at Sykes a lot, but we forget that Picot also has a flight role in playing this thing.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Picot was definitely one of the like in some ways, I think Picot was actually more of a bigger player in that whole arrangement in the Middle East than Sykes. Personally, I think that he was actually the bigger player in that.
Yeah. Stoner,
And-
you're asking about World War I history. Yeah, it is very fascinating. World War II is much more streamlined than World War I.
Yes. World War II, very, very linear. World War One, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
And then Wilson, so Wilson was backed by the Round Table completely and utterly. Milner and what's that other dude's fucking name? Fuck.
Cecil Rhodes?
Yeah, Rhodes. Thank you.
Okay.
Milner and Rhodes were major backers of Wilson. Major backers. And then Wilson also, I forget what the we didn't call them think tanks back then. It was clubs. Wilson attended a club, several clubs that Rhodes and Milner were big parts of.
Yeah. I've been to one of them, the Carlton Club in London.
Yes. And Rhodes, oh God, Rhodes was all over that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which then people forget Cecil Rhodes even fucking existed.
Yeah. He had a country named after him, a functioning country for a while. Until the globalists decided to break it. Like, they broke their
you know why?
Enlighten me.
Oh, hi, baby. The reason why they broke Rhodesia was because Rhodesia was on the cusp of siding with the Americans.
Okay. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, they were on the cusp of siding with the Americans in the negotiations for the decolonization. Okay, baby is very angry for some reason. Give me a split second. I'll be right back.
No problem. The snail shells, baguettes are found in the air. Smells like cigarette smoke, cheap cologne, and BO. It's the frogs. Yes. Yeah. So, a great tale I read about once. Yes, Rhodesia lives on in our hearts. For me, once I realized what the Rhodes Scholarship was, I'm like, oh, you're doing what the Romans used to do. You bring in these people, indoctrinate them in your culture, and you send them back into governed territories.
Yes.
I was like, this guy was a clever, evil fuck, but, I respect the game.
Yeah, that's something. All right.
So, I was going to say, oops. Sorry, I'm having one of those mind deadening events there. Yeah, what I'm talking about is that back in the day, the Roman Empire used to bring in, like, when they conquered a territory, they would bring back the princes. They would take hostages, and they would basically bring back the children of the ruling class of whatever land they conquered, and then educate them in Roman schools and in the way of Roman governance, and then send them back to the territories from where they came to run them as good Romans. And with the Rhodes Scholarship, what you see is that they take the leadership of the United States, a lot of people who are planting seeds into, like, they don't know that this guy's going to pay off exactly, like, but the fact is they bring them in, they indoctrinate them into British values and British culture, and they make them into free traders and what have you. Maybe corrupt them. Like, I wouldn't be surprised with, all the CIA connections that ran around with Bill Clinton. And then they sent them back to America to continue the imperial program.
Yep. And that's the thing, is at the end of the day, a lot of, the dumbasses, they're like, oh, it's Mossad. And it's like, and Mossad is an outgrowth of MI6,
Right.
which is an outgrowth of MI5, which, oh, by the way, another outgrowth of MI6 is the CIA.
Right.
Congratulations. Which, by the way, to all the little idiots out there, why was it MI5 handling Jeffrey Epstein? If the Home Office handles domestic and MI6 handles foreign, why was MI5 handling Jeffrey Epstein? Oh wait, that's because Jeffrey Epstein was a fucking British fucking home app to control their government.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm convinced at this point in time the overlap between the U.S. and Jeffrey Epstein was just a circumstance of happenstance because they can't operate illegal shit like that in their home country. You know how it's weird how you have Vancouver where the triad is. It's
Right.
You got the Albanians in New York, you got the Italians in New York, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. It's because criminal organizations can't operate in their home countries. What was the home country of Jeffrey Epstein's operation? Oh, it was the UK. Because who was his handler? Oh, that's right, Ghislaine fucking Maxwell. Robert fucking, the fucking starlight of British fucking socialites after fucking Diane. Like, think about it.
Brings up a great comment in the section. I hadn't heard about that. Is that why Pete Hegg says that barred military officers of attending Ivy League schools? Probably.
Yes. No, actually, it is. Because they're drawing. Oh shit! As my daughter tries to fucking take herself out on the fucking edge of my desk, she's trying to grab shit off my desk while I'm feeding her. But no, that's why, because they're using the Ivy League schools to not just indoctrinate, but also connect these different people with different intelligence assets from around the world.
Right.
And Stoner, it's even worse than California. New York is like ground zero for Ukrainians. There's several communities in New York where the Ukrainians have effectively occupied them.
Wow. Any more that we want to cover on this particular subject?
Sorry, I'm in the process of handing the baby over because baby keeps trying to just grab stuff off my desk and instead of eating.
Yep.
It's like, child, eat. Stop trying to be an idiot.
Definitely not hearing the happy food sounds right now.
Yeah. No, she wants to play with everything now. She's gotten mobile and now she's like, I want to play with this and this and this and this and this.
She's gotten mobile. Next thing you know, she'll be wanting to drive around her black Trans Am.
As long as it's an early 80s Trans Am.
I was about to say, I'm like, as long as it's a good one. And she'll do me even prouder if she does a Fox body. But yeah, no, they like across the board, like you have to understand, like these intelligence operations are fucking thick and heavy right now, especially right now. After fucking after Tulsi Gabbard fucking just dropped the hammer on their fucking money laundering bullshit with the fucking biolabs.
Right? Oh my god. That's a heavy little thing. Yes, the Burt Reynolds Trans Am was my reference there. Stoner.
No, it's actually really funny because a bunch of people are like, yeah, so what? We've been doing this for years, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, we're looking at the money flows, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Bassett sends his fucking regards. Big gay Patton is on the loose.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of which, I was on my two-way group yesterday, and we were talking about stuff. And someone had those questions like, which two Trump cabinet officials do you want to see have a fight? And everyone's like, well, for the UFC game on Trump's birthday, right? And definitely Scott. It was agreed upon that Scott Besson could take on any three, though I wasn't too sure about Mullins.
I don't know if he could take Tulsi. I don't know if he could take on Tulsi.
Oh, yes. So JP is asking a question in the chat there. Why don't you put it in there and see how Warhound reacts?
It's not today. So today is Trump's birthday. It's on the 14th.
Oh.
I had to look it up because I'm like, there's no way that it's happening tonight because they would have already started streaming, and I've been looking
on Paramount Plus if anyone has it and wants to watch.
Oh, it's gonna be on Paramount Plus. You fucking assholes.
Oh, that sucks.
That's a fucking stream that shit on fucking YouTube and fucking make it free.
Yeah,
it's for the $250.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna try to watch it.
Yeah, let me know. I'll see if I can give you a copy of my link.
But no, I'm seriously, I'm disappointed in the fact that people are still buying this the narrative bullshit. Now, luckily, we are breaking their backs in terms of the narrative games. For example, the response from the Russians has been hilarious. Dmitry Kirill has just been like, "Can we get that apology now?"
Yeah.
And it's just for oh fuck. Okay, sorry, I'm dying over here apparently. But you know, it's just like, get fucked. Like I don't know what to say at this point in time, because again, you know, we're seeing the narrative attempts across the board, which they're failing epically.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know at this point.
Yeah.
Apparently, JP, what does David, what does JP refer to me as?
He called you some sort of like MAGA first neocon.
What?
He's trying to put you into a category, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the category for him, but that's what he did say.
Hey, JP, you're a neoliberal fucking faggot. Anyways, like go suck off Nancy Pelosi a little bit for me.
Ew, I'm eating.
Somebody's got to take one for the team. JP, you're the man for the job.
Well, I was eating. I'm not now.
New age neocon is what he called you. Sorry.
Dude, I am sorry. I am nowhere near neocon or paleoconservative in any way, shape, or form. I want to put those people into camps.
You want to put the paleocons into camps?
They fucking annoy me.
Oh, okay.
They annoy the shit out of me. No, literally just the amount, because the paleocons make up the majority of the anti-China segment.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, I'm sorry guys, but you are so fucking off base with this. It's unfucking real.
Yeah.
Like, you are so you are underestimating how much you understand, or you're overestimating how much you understand about China in any way, shape, or fucking form.
Mm.
And it's like, I'm sorry, but you know, if you guys want to play these games, then you can earn the stupid prizes just like the others.
Mm.
And I'm sorry, but you know, if you want to play the game of, oh, we have to oppose this group because for X reason, it's like, okay, it better be a reason like, you know, the Europeans, where they're literally parasitizing off of us completely and utterly, and we need to expunge the cancer from the body.
Mm-hmm.
The Chinese, like, oh, you know, they steal intellectual property. Congratulations.
Everybody does that, including us.
Yes. Like, it literally, and a completely normal thing that has happened through time immemorial. Like, for example, gunpowder. China developed gunpowder almost 200 years before the Europeans got a hold of it. And yet it took the Europeans getting a hold of it, reverse engineering it in order to make firearms, and then the Europeans turn around and use said firearms to conquer China.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, this is how this shit works. You steal, you see somebody with a fucking better idea than you try to fucking copy it, or you try to steal it.
Correct.
That's just how shit works.
That's just good business.
Yep.
Yeah. But then it's like, whatever. That's why I don't like the paleocons, is that they just annoy the shit out of me. They're almost as they are almost insufferable as the fucking libertarians. But the libertarians are worse because libertarians are literally just whiny little bitches. Like I'm sorry, I could walk up and shoot a libertarian in the face, and the rest of them are going to be scared. Oh, the NAP.
Yeah. No, there's a bunch of. Look, I liked libertarians for a long time, but I always knew I was a conservative because I'm like, there's literal evil in the world, and you're not addressing the fact that we might like. I said this to a friend of mine a while ago, and said, "No, there's the empiricists and the I can't remember, the logicians or something like that, but two schools of thought, and the one people or logically the you had the Jewish fathers of Berlin who said, rationalists. Rationalists is what I was talking about. Rationally, the Jewish fathers of Germany said it makes no sense that the Nazis would exterminate their own slave force. That's why we got to cooperate with them. That would make no sense to kill off your own slave force. And the empiricists were the Jews in the Warsaw Ghetto who are saying, I know these motherfuckers are coming for me, and I'm going to take a couple of them out before they get me. And I've always sided with the empiricists. Kind of is the situation. And I feel a lot of times libertarians are, and paleocons are in the rationalist camp.
No,
this doesn't make any sense. No, people in the world don't make any sense.
Yep. Yeah. No, absolutely. You're absolutely fucking correct. And JP, here's the thing: is you don't need to trust China. That's fine. It doesn't fucking matter. The real world does not care about your trust issues. The real world is, we're selling so much oil and gas to China right now, it's unfucking real.
That being said, it does look like the Chinese have adopted what the Germans did in World War II with their coal into oil program.
Yes. Well, and that's because they have a shit ton of fucking coal and
right.
Not a lot of oil.
Right. When I finally heard that they had that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. And I was talking to a friend of mine who earlier, and her father was like the leading guy during the oil shocks in the 70s. He couldn't get a job as an engineer, but he ended up working in as a agency head at the Department of Energy, specializing in oil production because he couldn't get a job in the engineering field at that time. And he was basically called in before Congress a bunch of times. So because her father was involved in that kind of thing, she was like very knowledgeable about the German energy production system. And so when I said it, she's like, this is a very clean thing, and they're probably using it to create avgas.
Well, and that's the thing is that you know, the whole situation, JP, the coal to oil manufacturing is one of the cleanest things you can do with coal.
Yeah, that's something she told
And the
me
by
tonight
and
as
the
well.
by and the byproduct from it can be used for asphalt.
Yeah, it apparently generates heat and water.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I got educated. I was in the same place as JP earlier tonight, and I was very schooled by my friend Jen about it. So
yeah, no, it's a phenomenal process. It's actually one of the reasons why the Germans were able to keep up on repairing their airfields during the air campaign during World War II, is because they were able to produce enough electricity and enough asphalt and other things like that in order to do shit because of their oil production, which again, their oil production was literally coal into oil.
yeah.
But and here's the fun part is that by doing that and being able to diversify their production, they actually they isolate a problem that they have, and that's the same problem we are currently handling in Iran, and that's the boogeyman of the straits being blocked, the straits of the world. You've got the Strait of Hormuz, you have the Strait of Malacca, you have the Bab el Mandeb, you've got the Suez, you got Gibraltar, you got the Bosphorus, you got all these different little fucking places. And it's literally a case of like, oh, hey, that's a good little situation where you got the US handling that. And then the Chinese are sitting there retooling their economy because, mind you, the Chinese love the fact that we're now onshoring a bunch of the jobs that they can't fill. They're the more that the Chinese get happy about as things go on and the better their economy goes, the more we're starting to realize that, oh yeah, they bullshitted the shit out of their fucking population growth numbers. They were not able to sustain the industrial base that they had built out. They just fucking couldn't. Period. End of story. And JP, $75 to $85 a barrel is a pretty fucking good metric. That's a fantastic metric, actually, for a country that can't produce oil.
JP's asking why the United States isn't generating it.
We don't need to.
There's that. Also, a lot of that got shot. The oil companies after World War II didn't want the competition, and
there's that.
There is attempts to do it, but my friend Jen, who was talking about it, said technology like this needs about 30 years to break through ground, and she was working for one of the companies back in the 1990s, and it got bought out so many times, and it was just like I said, the oil companies don't want.
And I'm gonna point out there's also a difference between the coal we have here in the U.S. versus over in Europe. In Europe, I forget, it's bromite coal. I want to say that's the name. It starts with
anthracite, and I can't remember the other type.
Yeah, I want to say it's bromite, maybe. It starts with a B. I know that. It starts with a B. Hold on. Let me. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, it's going to bother us if we don't figure it
out. Bituminous. That's what.
Oh yeah.
So here in the US, we have almost exclusively across the board anthracite.
Right.
Our coal deposits are fucking incredibly old here in the US. Which that's for those who don't know, I'll put it out there. Coal is fossilized oil.
Yeah.
And in the case of bituminous is younger, like way fucking younger than anthracite, comparatively speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And bituminous coal, it's good for steel production, for example, but it's primarily used in energy production.
Right.
Whereas anthracite is almost exclusively used for metal production.
Mm.
There's a reason why here in the U.S. are when the whole back and forth about Appalachia running out of coal, what they were really talking about was the bituminous coal deposits, because there are a limited number of bituminous coal deposits that are centered mostly around Pennsylvania. Oh, by the way, what is Pennsylvania also known for? It's known for its oil production.
Mm-hmm.
Oil City, anybody who knows it. But the fact of the matter is that that's more what the peak coal guys were bitching about. I love the fact that, we had peak coal, we had peak oil. It's fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But anthracite is used for industrial applications. It's not used for electrical production whatsoever. And you wouldn't use anthracite to produce the liquefied coal either, or coal to oil production. You wouldn't use it. Anthracite is, and especially if it's blue chip anthracite, because blue chip anthracite, for example, is used in solar panels. Which blue chip refers to, it's a band of anthracite deposits that are specifically used in electrical components and shit like that runs from basically southern Ohio down to northern it's like northern Arkansas or something like that.
Yeah. The fact that the North had access to bituminous versus the South only was reliant on anthracite was a key reason why the South, one of the many key reasons why the South would lose the war.
Oh yeah, because what do you need bituminous coal for versus anthracite? Gunpowder production.
Yep.
Bituminous coal, you need bituminous coal for gunpowder production. You can't use anthracite for it. Anthracite it doesn't burn the same way.
Yep.
At all. But that's just one of it's just one of the many reasons why the U.S. never got into it. Again, the U.S. doesn't have to do liquid coal. We don't have to. There's no reason for us to do it because we have such massive fucking, like, and I'm not even talking oil. I'm talking natural gas, methane production.
Right.
Our methane production, like our byproduct every fucking year, what is it? Like fucking every cubic meter is like $1.50, $2 for methane.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And that's based off the fucking byproduct from fucking oil production. We don't have gas fields in the US. We have oil fields, and we produce so much fucking natural gas from just the oil production that we have to burn it off because we don't have enough storage, which is something that we're fixing right now.
Well, I'm glad to hear it because that's always been like big waste to me. Is like you're just burning off this.
Well, okay. Remember, it's methane. It naturally produces very quickly. Like oil. Yeah, it might take a couple hundred. It might take a few decades for oil to start forming.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the hydrocarbon content of the area that you're talking about. Like for example, the Permian Basin, it has such a high hydrocarbon content that at this point in time we're seeing deposits that were depleted back in the 70s and 80s that are now starting to refill. And like we're talking rigs that the last time they were drilled and tapped, they were producing around like 50 barrels a day, and now they're producing 150 plus, which, doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think about it, it's like, oh, so they drained this motherfucker down to 50 barrels a day, and then we tap it today, and it's producing triple that. That's a big change over the course of, 40 years.
Yeah, no, I tried to explain this to my stepfather once, and he just didn't believe it.
Oh yeah, no, because once we confirm the existence of hydrocarbons, it's like, oh, okay, is a renewable fucking resource. We just gotta let the hydrocarbons break down the fucking organic material that makes up oil.
Mhm.
Which is why, again, you go to any swamp and this is the problem in Europe. Europe has an incredibly low and yes, JP, you are correct. That's one of the main advantages of natural gas is the conversion to diesel. But in Europe, what we're now realizing is that Europe as a whole has such a low hydrocarbon content in the lower crust where all this shit happens. Which, William, this is why I brought up how important the Boring Company is.
Mm-hmm.
They have such a low hydrocarbon content that's why you have in Europe, you go into a swamp, you find pitch. Pitch is low quality oil that bubbles up to the fucking surface,
right?
That the hydrocarbons have not been able to fully process because there's not enough hydrocarbons there to process it. And that's the whole point, is that at the end of the fucking day, like in the case of Saudi Arabia, everybody's like, oh, Saudi Arabia is going to run out of oil by, 2050, 2060. And it's like, no, it fucking isn't. There's so much bioorganic fucking material coming out of the Gulf for the hydrocarbons to fucking use that those fucking gas, or that's why the oil fields in the Middle East follow the fucking rivers and follow the coastlines.
Yep, you're correct that it is JP, natural gas to diesel, which was something my friend Jen was talking about earlier when she was educating me about how clean this stuff was. There is a couple places where, there's a whole lot of fracking availability in the UK because of all their coal deposits. That they're not. Bank of England overthrew Liz Truss after she tried to after 6 weeks in government because she tried to access them. And then there's actually a large amount of deposits under Paris, but that would mean putting a fracking drill beside the Louvre to access. And there's a large amount of shale in Poland, but it's just not commercially able to be developed at this point.
Oh, so I'll comment on the last two there. In the case of Britain, they need to develop Cornwall. And if you know anything about Cornwall, you know why I'm saying that. In the case of Paris, one of the reasons why they've refused to attempt to develop that is actually because the company that was planning on developing it, they actually were going to do a horizontal drill pipe. But then the government basically said, oh, well, how far are you going to have to drill? And it's multi-miles that they're going to have to drill in order to do it. But the production for this deposit could, in theory, be so high that it offsets the costs completely and puts it in the positive. But the government was like, oh, well, we don't want you disturbing any of the ruins underneath the city. The classic fucking, bullshit answer that the French government always gives. Now, in the case of Poland, the problem with Poland is that those shale deposits, the reason why they are not commercially viable is because those shale deposits, so there's been some boring tests that have been done for those shale deposits. Those shale deposits have garbage fucking returns in general. The methane content in that shale deposit is fucking horrendously bad. Like, it is some of the, we're talking, what's the name of the fucking, there's two shale deposits here in Ohio. There's the northern deposit and the southern deposit. I forget what the northern deposit's called, but it's up in northeast Ohio. That deposit is fucking hot garbage for some reason. We don't know particularly why. We think it's actually part of because of how there's a slight mountain range. It's more of a ridge. there's a ridge that runs along the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. And we think that ridge, when the tectonic activity was going on way back when, it actually broke this deposit off from the main deposit in Pennsylvania. And so this deposit basically just doesn't have anything in it. And the deposit over in Pennsylvania, that's where all the renewable production from the hydrocarbons is. Because remember, what is oil? Oil is the shit. And what is methane? It's the fart of the hydrocarbon.
Right.
No, literally, that's what it is. It's fucking oil is literally the fucking waste product of hydrocarbons, and that it's like it's the most beautiful fucking resource in the fucking world.
I know. That's why I'm laughing.
But yeah, the southern Ohio deposit though, that shit is fucking insane. Like fucking ridiculous amounts of numbers of production. Like if I drive down 77 to my dad's in Cambridge, I am guaranteed to pass at least 5, maybe 6, 7, 8 tankers at bare minimum on each side. So we're talking tankers going north to the refineries and tankers coming back down south to pick up more shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's insane how many tankers you'll see running up and down 77. But that's the thing is, like, at the end of the fucking day, it's like, getting back to the core point, the U.S. doesn't have to use its coal in the way that, other countries have to.
Exactly.
We don't have to. We don't have to. Yeah. Which is good, because then we're a leading producer in steel. And like one of the comments, I made in regards to the SpaceX, everybody who's bitching about SpaceX is like, motherfucker, do you want to get rid of scarcity? Because SpaceX is how you're doing it.
Yep, exactly. And I'm trying to tell people that, and they just don't understand the complexity. They're like, why are we not able to just use that money here on Earth? Because I'm like, dude, if you get all the industry off planet, you can have all this stuff.
Well, let me put it to this way. I'll use the example I used from from our recording earlier. Hold on. If I can spell titanium.
If you can use all of that money once over here, or you can invest that money into getting the stuff in orbit, going out, grabbing a rock and dragging its ass back over here.
Well, okay, so real quick. So titanium is currently trading at 48.5.
Yep.
And then that is is this per ton?
48.5 per ton? No.
Hold on.
Maybe the share or some company.
If it's 48,000, maybe.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so sorry, I didn't think about it. I was looking at futures contracts. So titanium alloy is looking at 77,500 per ton. Titanium ingot, 6,700. And then if we are looking for, so titanium sponge is trading. This is the basic, form before they go into refining it into the metal. 5,700 on the low side.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
Right.
And then let's do. And mind you, that's just the unrefined shit. And then US steel plate is currently trading 1,217 a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's so steel is 5 times cheaper, or let's go low side, 4 times cheaper than titanium. Titanium is used in so many fucking important things, it's unfucking real.
Oh yeah.
Now imagine if you're able to go to space and you're able to fucking start harvesting titanium, because by the way, here on Earth, titanium's pretty fucking rare. Up in space, the shit it literally fucking just collects on rocks in space.
Right.
So it's like, oh wait. Like, for example, you could bring the price of titanium down to the price of steel. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, we can do a lot more fucking things. But that's the whole point, is that you want to get rid of scarcity, you have to get to space.
Yep, exactly. I used to play Alpha Centauri, and they had the whole space power satellite system out there. And it's like, if we could just collect 1% of the sun's energy, that would make us stupid rich.
And oh god, no! I've been telling people this across the board. The only thing, once we're up into space and we're actually mining and refining in space on a continuous basis, not just as I'm talking production across the board. You're talking literally. The only thing that you have to worry about is energy and food at that point in time.
Yep.
Because then at that point, every element, period, in a story, it just becomes stupidly fucking cheap at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you can solve the energy problem, which, oh, by the way, solar collection in space is going to be 10 times more efficient.
Yep.
You know, you're getting an active efficiency of, say, 30 to 40% here on Earth at best, peaking around 50% during specific points of the year. Whereas in space, the fucking solar panel is getting hit with all of the radiation rather than just a part of it. And then it's like, oh, wait.
Holy shit. Any of the ugly maintenance costs that come from the fact that you have to put the best solar panels in the desert, but you have to wash them off because all of the sand grit that's hitting them.
Yep. JP, yes, that is actually exactly the point of the moon base. And then comes the question, how do you transport it? Well, in the case of the moon base, well, the moon base basically becomes a self-sufficient fucking gold mine right then and there. And then you figure out how to transport, you know. A lot of people are like, oh, wireless transmission. Okay, wireless transmission might work, but, you know, there's going to be some problems with solar radiation and so on and so forth in the void. Mm-hmm. But then what you could do, and this is one of the key aspects, is because once you're in the void, space travel is cheap as fuck.
It is.
You get moving and you don't stop moving. And it actually, it's more expensive to slow down in space.
Yeah.
And then in the case of transporting, you know, like just as a off chance, you know, you could drop fucking landers from space with charged fucking batteries, you know, or hell, you could make the lander the battery itself. Hell, you fucking think about the size of Starship. Think about something the size of Starship, and then it's literally just it's a giant fucking battery across through the entire thing. It just fucking plops down on Earth, and then, you know, you can use it to fucking, you know, provide electricity.
That is one of the modifications Musk made with it.
Yep, that's why
designed modifications.
That's why I brought it up, is because I kind of think that might be their early concept. Because here's the thing, is I'm going to say this right now, we're going to see a tethered orbital. There will be a tethered orbital that allows us to transmit energy from space to the ground directly. Mm-hmm. That's going to happen.
Yep.
If in a century we don't have space elevators, I'll eat my own soul.
Space elevator, that's going to take at least a couple centuries, because we need a new. You see, this is what makes titanium so fucking important in this, by the way, is because we need to come up with a new high tensile strength fucking alloy using titanium that can be used for the tether for a space elevator.
The Japanese have been working on, and
I know they are. I know they are. That's the same reason why they've been, because they're planning on using that same alloy for the fucking Gauss weapons that they've been developing.
I love Gauss weapons.
Well, no. So the Gauss rifles that they've been developing, the current barrel life is 80 rounds, which, for those who don't know, that's amazing, because the barrels that the U.S. government developed could only survive 1 or 2 shots.
Yeah, I think the best they ever did was 5.
Yeah, yes, and that was a very, 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 very top secret prototype alloy that nobody fucking knows what the fuck it was. Nobody has any fucking clue, and I'm pretty sure it included a shit ton of iridium.
Would not surprise me.
Yep. Well, in my novella, my stepfather read it, and I have at one point these guys using like hand portable Gauss rifles. And it's, how did this happen? Well, the book's set 80 years in the future, and better, God, and practical. Yeah, I was like,
and that's the thing is, so the reason why you need a barrel for a Gauss weapon is because on planet side you need a barrel.
yeah,
In the void you don't need one.
Yeah.
So in the void, like when we start seeing fucking actual honest to goodness warships, that shit's it's literally just going to be a set of coils that fucking looks at you and fucking says hi. It's because of air.
I'll send my novella to you probably tomorrow.
Okay. But yeah, no, it's literally a case of like Japan developed the barrel because they're working off of the system that the US designed. They designed a barrel that could survive multiple rounds.
Mm. Yes, JP, Gauss rifle is a railgun.
Yeah.
It sort of.
It is. It isn't. It's technically 2 different different styles of the same technology. The same way a coil gun is. It's all part of the same technology. It's just 2 different styles, or multiple different styles.
It's the same family, but it's 3 major branches off the trunk of a tree.
Yes, yes, that's the point. It's like the difference between a matchlock, a wheel lock, and a fucking flintlock.
Mm.
That's fair.
It's all the same. It's all the same thing. It's just different ways of doing it.
Yep.
And some of them are better than others. In the case of coil guns are incredibly inefficient. That's why they have no real practical accuracy, which is why they will fall by the wayside as time goes on. Gauss weapons are going to be incredibly, incredibly effective across the board when it comes to land-based things. Rail guns are going to be better in space.
Mm.
That's why you're going to see rail guns mounted on warships. You're going to see Gauss weaponry mounted on smaller craft.
Mm.
And then infantry portable weapons.
Yeah. I don't know if you're a Battletech fan, but I know that Warhound and I are, and I suspect William is. So,
yes, William's part of the club.
Oh, yeah.
So,
unfortunately, I can talk about it for days.
All good, Stoner. And Stoner's partially part of that club. He's more of a Gundam guy, but
he's a mech head.
Yeah,
he's a mech head from hell. But no, that's the whole thing. Is like in order for this stuff to progress, in order for this stuff to push forward, we're going to have to get to space. And the having a megacorp like SpaceX, and I'm just going to start referring to it as a megacorp. Having a megacorp like SpaceX be able to fucking consolidate the resources and expertise in order to be able to do it, that's going to be important, period.
Yep.
They're the first major step towards having belters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. That was just sitting right there.
Yep.
Say hello, Marcy.
She would not stop screaming.
But no, it's just a simple fact that we're pushing forward. If you want to be left in the dust, go ahead, stay a Luddite and stay fucking hating shit. Stoner, the multi-ped tanks, those are they're not a practical design, sir. They're just not. I love the Ghost in the Shell design stuff, but it's just not a practical design.
Yeah, I haven't watched Ghost in the Shell since the 90s, so it's kind of barely in my head.
Now is actually a decent time to do it because they just made a new one.
Actually, so that's actually really funny. So a buddy of mine was bitching because he's like, I want to see more practical tank designs. And he's like, I'm sick and tired of sci-fi doing mechs and shit like that. And I'm like, you do realize why mechs are a big thing, right? Like why they are the genesis of a new era of warfare in most writings. It's because once you have mechs, like land warfare changes fucking forever.
Mm.
Like I'm just being completely fucking honest. You have a miniaturized, quote unquote, miniaturized nuclear reactor capable of supporting a mech running around, fucking doing just hinky ass shit to people. That's when warfare just changes on a fundamental fucking level.
When you've got when you have the pajama boys running around with compact fusion reactors in multi-story buildings, yeah, things change.
Yep.
Well, and that's the thing is like when we start getting to the point yes, Marcy. She was excited to know that I was going to mention the Scorpion. When you have the potential for it, because that's of course going to be one of the first style of mechs that is produced by the human race. Absolutely. Like once we
you think that's the
a quad,
really doesn't like those designs?
I think what's going to happen is the first proto mech is going to be a treaded mech body like a gun cannon.
Yep.
And then I think Armored Core got it right, to be completely honest. You're going to have treaded mechs, and then you're going to have multi-legged mechs, and then you're going to have bipedal mechs. And then once the bipedal mechs come, that's going to be the final evolution of mechs. And then all of a sudden you're going to start fucking seeing some Gundam shit. And that's going to be fucking wild. like if we get to the point where Gundams are a thing, that's scary. I would love to see that as a human, just see that evolution of technology over the course of, a couple centuries and just be like, what in the fuck have we done?
Yeah, until we figure out something like foamed endo steel, we're just not going to have the right weight to mass to be able to.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. And that's why, like, honestly speaking, what's most likely going to happen is that we're going to have things like the protomechs, like the gun cannon, for example. We're going to have those way before, and they're going to be incredibly experimental to the point where it's like, yeah, we produce like 3 or 4 of these for development purposes, and that's it.
Yeah. I was never a Gundam guy. I was more a Pat Labor guy.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so you and me are same deal to a degree here. I was more of a Robotech guy.
Same here.
I was a Macross boy.
Yeah, same here. I read all the books.
Good lad. Real quick, JP, one of the assumptions for Musk's purchase of X was for data and communications platform that could be useful for space communications. Yes, there is some back-end stuff that Twitter was doing that was incredibly efficient and incredibly well written. The problem is a lot of it had been shelved because when they got rid of Vine, and a lot of people don't realize how. Yes, baby girl. I know it's really annoying that Twitter got rid of Vine. I agree. But when they shelved Vine and got rid of Vine, it was a lot of that stuff was put on the back burner. And the big reason why he bought X was to bring that asset under control in order to prevent the color revolution bullshit to propagate here in the US. That was the big reason. Is if Twitter hadn't been brought under our control when Trump assumed office for the second time, there would have been an immediate and very concentrated color revolution attempt in the US.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Speaking of color revolutions, what do we think that's going on in the UK?
So I think it's a false flag.
Okay.
I personally, everything I've seen so far, the burnings that have occurred, if somebody actually made up a bit of a map, the burnings are happening outside of the areas where protesters are being reported. And then the protesters are being allowed to move into those areas where the burnings are occurring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not surprised. I was suspecting that organic protesting is happening, but I was thinking that black bloc and
Well,
like all
that's
the riots-
the key. That's the key thing is that it's definitely black bloc that is lighting shit on fire.
Yeah, and
And-
lighting, and lighting people on fire. Definitely a lot of that kind of crap.
Yeah. So it's color revolution, not colored revolution.
Oh.
But yeah, no, the it's, in my opinion, it's a full-on false flag. I think this is meant to give the UK an impetus to move into Ireland.
Well, the problem with that is that they just did a recent survey on all the NATO countries. Guess which country came in as the worst country for NATO preparedness and capability? 31 out of the 32 countries. And
The
given
UK.
32 is Iceland, which has literally no army.
32 is it's the UK. I know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that there isn't an extensive police force that they could use to do.
I don't think they do. I can look at their extensive police force, and they've been so poisoned by their DEI ideology and all that crap, where they've been promoting women over men for the last decade.
So David, let me explain it like this. Like here in the US and like in Canada, who are they going to be using? It's not the fucking native population. It's going to be the brown motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to understand what have the Pakistanis, for example, been pushing hardcore? They've been pushing hardcore for community policing, and thus they have their own little fucking police forces that they have developed in the nation. By the way, those same police forces, very extensive equipment. A level of equipment that I'm surprised by, to the point where it's almost, if not on par, with the armed police forces in the UK. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, you might be looking at the wrong police.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I do understand that the French have been raising Pakistani police forces in their country.
Oh God, fucking hell! The French are really leaning into it.
Yeah. I just look like at the middle managers in the Starmer government, and I'm like, these people are just so stupid. And,
well, yeah, they're fucking retarded, but retarded people can still hurt you.
Yep, that's true.
Ask Austin Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, I told you guys earlier. I'm choosing hostility today.
Yeah, you woke up and chose violence, definitely.
Yeah, I'm okay with violence. Like, they're just not targeting the right people. But I do think at some point they'll be firebombing the homes of the cabinet ministers, like they did in Nepal and Sri Lanka.
Oh well, that's the thing is that So I have been catching up on a couple different people that I know who are legit. And they're pointing out, like, yeah, they're trying to build the impetus for coming in and just shellacking the fuck out of us. And now, a few people are like, well, you know what? If they fucking come in, they come in. We kill them all.
Yeah, I just hope that it's not going to become the communist IRA again.
No, thank God. It seems like the IRA basically got told to fuck off. Because at this point in time, what it appears is that the Irish government itself is trying to use the IRA in order to help the Brits in Northern Ireland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of those fake videos of I don't remember the name of the group anymore because it's in local dialect, but it was the new guard IRA type of thing from I don't know 8-10 years ago.
Yep.
Those videos are back showing up. They're doing the circulations again on the internet. It's like, oh, lovely. Everybody knew that these were fake hit pieces intended to draw that were intended to draw out people that wanted change and were possibly willing to do something.
Oh, it's the same thing that we saw with Patriot Front.
It's literally the same videos from a decade ago. They're reusing them.
Oh yeah, I'm aware. But my point.
Wow.
My point is that Patriot Front is the exact same shit. Which, mind you, I had one of my guys be like, "Hey, what do you know about Patriot Front?" And, I'm thinking about attending some of their rallies, and I was
Stay
like,
the hell away.
I straight up told him if you attend one of their rallies, you're completely persona non grata within my circle at this point.
Yeah.
And he was like, wait, why? And I'm like, because they're a bunch of fucking ops. That's all they fucking are. And then when
they were one of the most obvious false flags I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, no, and when the SPLC shit dropped and they were indicted, and the information came out about who they were funding, it a lot of it linked right back to fucking Patriot Front. Oh, by the way, what little group disappeared overnight after SPLC was indicted?
You're right. I've not heard of it.
No, they've completely dropped off the fucking map. Yeah. Completely.
Stoner says it's hot and the AC sucks and he's in a foul mood. He sounds like he should be in Birmingham tonight.
But no, the overall situation being what it is, Ireland, it's cooking, but it's not boiling over yet.
Yeah.
And until we see, and I suspect I know what the catalyst will be for this event. Until we see an attempt by the Brits to bring in foreign police to police the situation in Belfast, we will not see it boil over because people are not going to be willing. Their risk threshold isn't there yet. But once the foreign police agencies, and I'm referring to the Pakistani police groups that they've put together in the UK.
I'm not sure it's going to necessarily be Pakistanis. The Sikhs have been
Sikhs, Pakis, 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. But the point is that when they get brought in to quell the unrest, that's when the double barrels and the fucking pipe shotguns come out. Yeah. And will people die? Absolutely. It's going to be it's going to be a bloodbath. But as soon
70s and 80s look tame.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy a couple weeks ago, and he has been following a former IRA terrorist on X, and he said they have buried all their guns, which I fully suspected they would do when the treaty came down. So they'll be they will be suspected.
What kind? I'll use a line that is one from one of my favorite games that I wish they would remake. What kind of Arab would I be if I didn't have an RPG in my front yard, buried in my front yard?
Yeah.
And for those who might be interested, that line is from the game Syrian Warfare, and it is a very fucking fun game. The new game that Play with Cats, which they are still involved. I did not know this. They are still involved. They dissolved Play with Cats, or they dissolved part of their company, I should say.
Mhm.
They're still involved with Terminator, Dark Fate Defiance, and it's a very, very well put together game. I wish Syrian Warfare was redone to be like Terminator, Dark Fate Defiance, because it would be even better. But Syrian Warfare is a very, very fun game. But yeah, no, like at this point in time, like if I were anybody, for example, in these countries, I would point out that it is very easy to come to the US, download certain files, put them on a USB drive, buy a laptop here in the US that then you take back home with you, and do not connect said laptop to the internet at your place. If anything, you can go to a computer shop here in the US and have the wireless transceiver in the laptop removed to even air gap it even harder. And I'm not saying you should do this, but I'm saying it would be a good idea. Anyway,
Oh God, the guy we know on one of the channels in Discord, not the Philippines, but actually he is, but the Myanmar area where they're going nuts over there right now. That's what they're doing. They're going into other countries with just little Chromebooks and getting all the files that they need, and then shipping them back.
yep.
It's not a case of it could work. It's they're doing it.
I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm just saying, there you go, people.
Yeah, and guess who just appeared out of the blue, wanting to do a show or a space in the next few days?
Who?
David S.
Ah, that's funny. Is he awake right now?
I don't know. I just got a message. I was just reviewing some of my messages. I hadn't checked in a few hours, so I don't know if he's still up.
Give him a shout and see if he wants to jump on here real quick, because it's funny. I messaged him a few days ago and said, "Hey, we need to get together and do a space or something and catch up."
It was an hour ago, so I will say,
as long as he's in Argentina right now, he should still be up.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm doing something right now with Warhound. If you guys want to come on.
Argentina, yeah, that's 2 hours behind.
Yeah, that's central. JP, I ain't going to say shit specifically.
Well, they got 30 minutes. I'll be ending the show about at the 2 hour mark. So if they want to come on and hang out, but if they are not, if they're gone to bed, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I again, as I said, I had messaged him a couple days ago. I was like, hey, we need to sit down and catch up at some point in time. It's been a while.
Yeah. Nope. No.
Especially with how spicy shit's getting down in South America. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, why don't we talk about what's spicy going down in South America then?
I'm sure. Why not? Fucking the number of fucking spec ops teams fucking dropping in, fucking killing people, fucking number of drone strikes where we're just bombing. Like Colombia is getting bombed to hell and back right now because of how many fucking drug drug bases that we're fucking taking out. Like everybody's like, oh, they're sending guys in to burn fields and shit like that. Bitch, we're just hit them with fucking hellfires. Like, fuck it. Oh shit, we'll drop napalm.
Well, David S is up, so I will be sending him a link. Give me a.
Hey.
Got to get on my X field and send him the link.
But yeah, no, they like the number of strikes that are being carried out, and Colombia got on program real fucking quick because apparently the El Presidente down there, I forget his fucking name off the top of my head. He definitely got threatened. Like with how fast he fucking got on program, the cartels definitely threatened him.
Yep.
And then
I was watching Julian Dory's a pretty good, interesting guy to watch, and he was talking about with someone who had a lot of cartel knowledge.
well, then you got the situation in Ecuador, the new guy in Ecuador, who is like, oh, we're gonna bring the Americans in, and then all of a sudden the cartels just lost their fucking minds. And then the Americans went in and we just started slotting motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Like at this point in time, what the bros down south have realized is like, oh shit, the motherfuckers from up north did not lose their edge whatsoever when it comes to killing us.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 1920s are calling. We'd like our canal back, please. Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they're not there. And what's even better is now the new bullshit that's going on in Bolivia. Wait, really? Did you just call him President Bukaki? Damn, you're an asshole. Bukele. Jesus, put some respect on the man's name. Bukele is he's doing fucking.
Oh. He says he's going to listen, but he doesn't want to necessarily come on.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck you, David. Love you. Anyways. But yeah, the situation with Bukele is fucking hilarious because the Europeans immediately started talking shit about him because he received such a fucking mandate for his second term that there was a proposal put forward in the El Salvadoran government, not from him, by the way. It was and it wasn't even one of his particular allies. It was the person who put the bill forward initially was kind of a middle ground person in their government. But the guy in question said, "Hey, why don't we just keep Bukele in? Like, he's getting massive fucking votes. He's fucking got a mandate from hell, and he's doing real good fucking work. Why don't we remove the fucking limit on presidential terms?" And then they fucking did. And now, the leftists are freaking out because, oh my God, Bukele's going to stay in for fucking ever. And it's like, yeah, I wonder why he's going to stay in for fucking ever. It might just happen to be the fact that he's kicking your asses across the fucking board. The people don't want to be supporting the cartels anymore.
Yep.
But my human rights, fuck you.
Yeah.
Cartel subhumans don't get human rights.
Yeah.
They never gave human rights to fucking anybody else.
Well, I look at it a lot of times with the cartels or being one of these evil organizations. You're going to have you're leader of a cartel or you're president of Libya. You're going to have a really good life right up to the end. Sure, it will really suck when they rape you with a dagger, but until that point, you probably had been living the kingpinning lifestyle, kind of the ending of Scarface, like.
Well, unless you're that one, I forget the one fuckhead's name. There's one of the Sinaloa guys. He was one of the. He was like he wasn't the top guy. He was one of the dons, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, like he multi-millionaire, fucking doing his shit, having a good time, yada yada yada. Has one close fucking call, like one really fucking close call. We're talking bullet fucking right over the fucking head, like feeling the wind as the fucking projectile flies over. Dude said, fucking is living it high in fucking Miami, fucking bailed. Like the cartel, the Sinaloas apparently have sent guys after him before because they're just like, what the fuck, you fucking you little coward, and you fucking run off. He's like, bitch, I made my money, I'm fucking out, bye. But then it turns out he was more of an old school smuggler type, anyways. Like he wasn't involved in a lot of the bullshit. And so he was like, nah, like I got shot at after fucking making a run. I'm fucking done. Bye. I forget the guy's name.
Yeah, no, there was it may be the same guy, but there's this. I was watching this video about when the Colombians tried to buy a sub from the Russians, not a nuclear sub, but a diesel boat, to do their drug smuggling with, and there was this. They're talking to the Russian guy, and it's like, you'll never find this Colombian dude. He's always on the run. He screwed over so many people. He's like, he stole $50 million from the cartels, and then they cut, and they're talking to the guy on an airplane.
No, my favorite when it comes to the cartels, there's a the bullshit that's going on in Bolivia right now. You got the whole spectrum of civil unrest and whatnot, and the Europeans, of course, because and this is what I do personally is I look at war fronts. I look at war fronts for topics, and then I go and research the topic. And then I realized, like, oh shit, like war fronts is an extension of Europe, the EU media machine. Like, yeah, I would not be surprised if
stuff, and it's pretty dumb.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that they're receiving a shit ton of funding from the EU, because it's almost 1-to-1. Like, yeah. It's hilarious. But then the when they were talking about the Bolivia stuff, I started looking into the European like media in regards to Bolivia, and almost across the board, it was literally like, "Oh, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. This is gonna lead to this, this, that." And I'm like, "Huh? Why are the Bolivians, or why are the Europeans, who wanting the government in Bolivia overthrown?" And then you look at it, and the Bolivians are currently in negotiations with the U.S., trying to keep the U.S. from just fucking coming in, and instead actually working with them. And I'm like, oh, that's what's going on. It's like, interesting. Same shit that happened in fucking Venezuela and Colombia and shit like that. Okay, cool, got it.
For those who was ever asking in the chat what kind of sub the Colombians were trying to buy, it was a Foxtrot type sub.
Yeah, that's stoner.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So it might. I'll just have to double check on what a Foxtrot is. It's been a while. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a sub guy personally. That's what I have.
A friend of mine was a friend of mine that I'll be seeing next week is former EXO of a Boomer. So
yeah, no, I leave the sub stuff to my resident.
It's a diesel boat.
Yeah, I leave that to my resident bubblehead. Like, if I have a question about something, I just go talk to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Kilo was a nuke, so, but, that's how I kind of thought about it. Anyways.
Speaking of your little damn stoner, you having a problem with her? Speaking of your little trip, where all are you going?
Okay, so I'm going to be heading down to, might be hitting you up where you live. I was going to head to Cleveland, and I was hoping to meet up with this chick, but she's just started her residency at the Cleveland clinic. So I said, hey, would Sunday be a better day to meet up? And she's like, I'm not too sure it's going to the residencies that I'm meeting up with. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll hit you on the way back, because I will pass likely back through Cleveland on the way home. Then I'm going down after meeting up with another friend of mine who's also located in Cleveland. I will be heading to Origins, the gaming convention, for 5 days, and then after that, I'll probably heading up to Chicago. I got a guy there who wants me. He and his wife want to meet up with me, and we'll hang out for a little bit. He's on the outskirts of Chicago, so I shouldn't have to go all Blues Brothers on people, though I have done that. One time, I'm like, not the one time I was in Chicago. The second time was Chicago. It was the first time I was there. It was like we got off the plane and we drove, and it was late at night, so I didn't get to see anything. And on the second time, we were going back to the airport, and but we were dropping off this guy, and he bought us lunch at a Chicago thing. And I'm like, what do I do here? That's a thing. It was like the Chicago downtown scape. It was like, oh my God, we are in the Blues Brothers, man. And we got ourselves a Chicago deep dish pizza. And then after that, I'm going to head down to to Columbus. And there's a bunch of, not Columbus, to Oklahoma, where I'm going to meet up with, what's his name? You met him. I can't. It's getting a little late tonight. But I'll be meeting up with a bunch of friends from Oklahoma. They're like some in Oklahoma City. I have my friend Jen from Tulsa wants to meet up. And then another guy I've interviewed a few times on the channel, Richard, he's in Colorado. And he's like, that's Oklahoma City's only like 2 hours away. I'll come down for that. And then heading back down after that, I'll be heading to meet up a guy in St. Louis before heading home and to Canada. But like I said, I might meet more of this girl on the backside.
Oh, so when you mentioned Origins, I decided to look it up. All right. I'm guessing BattleTech.
I usually don't really get a BattleTech game in there. I'm giving a lecture on the double cross system. I usually play a lot of this thing called the National Security Decision Making game. I was once I've won the game so many times I'm not allowed to play anymore. So they made me staff unless they need a ringer. And one time they were running what they call the Turkish. They run their games basically around the idea that you're a nation. And everybody is representing what they call a cone of power. So the president is not just the president; it's like the president, the Democrat Party, all the instruments there. But you also will have like if it's a Cold War game, you'll have like a Nixon faction, you'll have a Goldwater faction, similar for the Democrats. And but one time I got one of my highest compliments was like they were running the Turkish cell, and the guy said to me, we need you to play Erdogan. And I'm like, do you have any tips for me? And he said, just play yourself.
Oh shit. Well, thanks.
So actually, so it's funny. I wish I had known about this sooner, because I'd totally go to this. Like this looks like a good time. So I wish you had told me about this sooner.
Okay.
Especially because what days is it? 17th through the 21st. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't get a day pass if you just wanted to come down and play one game or something like that.
I'm more of an observer when it comes to conventions. I don't like doing stuff at the convention because I like. See, here's the problem: is that when it comes to board games, the board game that I like to play the most.
What game's that?
Full Earth map, Axis and Allies.
Okay, they'll have a lot of that there.
I'm the motherfucker that decides. You know what? It sounds fun to play, a board game for the next 3 months. But no, that looks like a good time though.
Yeah, they generally don't run games like that anymore. They used to run Europa, which was very complicated.
Holy shit! All right.
World in Flames. So they're just those type of gamers have been kind of chased away by the convention in the past, so they're not really into it anymore. But yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff going on there still.
No, that's a good time. That's a good time. All right, yeah. No, because when you're like when it comes to you know where I live, so
Yeah.
it's like I literally Cleveland's 45-minute drive for me. So
Yeah.
at worst, it's a 45-minute drive. So it's like going up there to meet up with you up there is no fucking problem at all. Now if you want to come down into my neck of the woods, I got a really nice fucking or a couple nice spots for lunch and shit. So my neck of the woods is like the perfect balance between having access to everything while also not having to deal with fucking Cleveland. David, fuck off, you bastard. God damn you. Fucking asshole. Oh Lord. And Stoner, you should know this at this point in time. I know things about submarines, and I have a passing knowledge on most sub related stuff, but I focus primarily on surface combatants.
You know,
almost exclusively.
Get yourself in trouble.
Huh?
You know enough to get yourself in trouble.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Same here on subs.
About 3 weeks ago, I was visiting with that friend Kelly, who you encountered one time in Chat Wolf.
Oh yeah.
And her parents live in Buffalo, so we met up, and in Buffalo they have 3 warships that you can go on tours of. One is a frigate, one is a light cruiser, and one is a World War II submarine.
Yeah.
And I went as a guy who's 6'4", I went into that World War II submarine. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, so here in Cleveland, we don't have much in the way of naval of war naval stuff, but we actually have a cool aspect where we've got a couple old freighters that you can go on. The only warship of any description that we have is the USS Cod, which good little hop and a skip down to check out the USS Cod. It's right there by Pier 2 and the Rock Hall and whatnot. So I need to get a fucking GoPro so I can fucking do, because I wanted to start. One of the things I wanted to do for my YouTube channel was actually traveling around and doing tours of the different museum ships, because I want to do the USS Cod. I want to do I want to hit up all the Iowas, like all of them.
Oh wow!
I want to get onto the USS Texas because apparently you can get onto the Texas, but you have to request it. And it's a wait list to get on there.
Yeah, have they refloated the Texas yet?
The Texas is refloated, and it can move under its own power.
Oh damn! I didn't know they went that far.
They got the Texas refloated. This was back in like 2017, 2018, and then they did get one of the boiler. It doesn't move quick, mind you. But they did get one of the boilers up and running and going so that they could do, because where they have it and where they have to do the maintenance, it's only a few miles, but they do have to move it. And so what they do is they run the one boiler along with 2 tugs.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, it was that was the most recent battleship that was out of the water. I mean, last year. It was in dry dock. Yeah, well, they dry docked it to redo the outer hull and then paint it. Yeah, and they're currently working on getting the. I know they're trying to get the A and B turrets up and running as soon as possible.
And then the X turret, I think that's what they're going to be doing, is doing A, B, X, and then the C and D turrets are going to be kind of left as is for right now. Eventually, the state of Texas is planning on completely refurbishing the ship.
Nice.
But it's going to be a very long-term process because the Texas was left in such dire straits for so long.
Uh-huh. Well, if anything kicks off in the Caribbean, Texas is good.
Fucking gangster lean that bitch.
Yeah.
Gangsta lean it. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't think any battleship is ever going to lean as far as Warspite did. But yeah, Texas, they put that thing on, damn near put that thing on its side in Normandy.
No, Stoner. The Iowas have not been in the Ready Reserve fleet for fucking 20, 30 years now.
Yeah,
Sad,
that's about
but
right.
they did keep a program and keeping them going for a while. But yeah.
Well, yeah, it was the late 80s when they finally pushed them out of the Ready Reserve.
No, I think it was a little later. No, they had a Iowa's involved in the Gulf War, the first Gulf War.
Oh yeah, no, actually, you're fucking right. I just thought about that.
The last one out of Ready Reserve, late 90s.
Hold on.
Yeah.
The only reason they did that is because when they went and inspected the engines, they found that 2 of them were shot to hell.
Oh,
and they had a turret that was completely disabled.
Okay, so we're all correct, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Official decommissioning for the Iowa herself was in 90. And then both the New Jersey and the Wisconsin were in 91, and it was 92 for the Missouri.
Yeah.
So we're both right. We're both right.
Yeah.
You say they were put out of the ready reserve around that time.
Mm-hmm. It's
just I'm guessing, because I know the Wisconsin, she's got fuck, what are the markings called again for when they go into combat? What are those called again?
For naval ships, I don't remember.
Neither do I.
Fuck.
I
But
just
yeah,
know that we have the best Steven Seagal movie based on one of the returning battleships from the first Gulf War.
Yes. That is a guilty pleasure movie.
Yeah. But we're making new battleships, supposedly.
Yeah,
Well, they look more like battle cruisers to me with a 35,000 ton tonnage, but
that's basically what they are. They're missile battle cruisers.
Oh shit! All right, so I was fucking wow. I was way fucking off of when they were struck from the register, though.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the Iowa, so the Iowa. Okay, so the Iowa was stricken from the register in 95, but was reinstated to the register in 99 to 2006. To comply with federal laws. The New Jersey was stricken in when was she fucking stricken? Doesn't. Okay, for some reason they don't have the date that she was stricken on the New Jersey. Where was she? Oh, okay. She was stricken in 99. They just didn't have it in the article. And then Missouri was stricken in 95. And then Wisconsin was stricken in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. They retained this motherfucker on the register till 2006. Holy fuck.
That's why I was thinking late 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah, but they were decommissioned. As part of the Ready Reserve, they were fucking decommissioned back in the early 90s, right after, basically either right before or right after Desert Storm.
Yeah,
and then they weren't officially stricken from the register until much later, which that's just wild to me.
The reason the two were in the mid 2000s is because those were the two that had the best engines.
Yep.
And when they went and inspected them again, it was, oh crap, we're gonna have to cut a hole in the deck to pull the engines out and rebuild them individually, literally a full tear down, lay all the guts on the floor and hand clean them all.
Whoa. The fucking Alabama is still around?
I believe so.
Holy shit.
Right.
So yeah, they went, okay, even if we could do it, it would take less time to build a new one with the old blueprints than just to repair the engines.
For a lot of why these ships got decommissioned eventually is because the crews that could service them died from old age.
Oh, that's part of it, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the other part. The people that were trained, that still had the training during the Gulf War, even most of them aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, fucking Stoner asked, what's new on the new battleships we're supposed to be getting? So the situation with the Trump class, as everybody is calling it, which that was just to piss off the antis that don't like surface combatants. Still happening. They are in the design development phase right now, and per my understanding, I might have actually called something, because previously I had said that more than likely they were going to use elements of the Zumwalt class in the hull design.
Right.
And it looks like that might be what is actually happening.
Good.
Well, the Zumwalt hull, when it was built properly, was actually a very good hull.
Oh yeah, no, the Zumwalt design-wise is fucking amazing.
But yeah, it really depends on who the next two presidential terms are. Because if it can make it through two more presidential terms without getting canceled, we'll probably end up with between 3 and 5 of them.
No, because okay, so Trump is calling them battleships, and in the terms of the parlance, they are not battleships.
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, the weight class is not a battleship class.
But in the modern sense, when we're talking surface combatants, these are effectively battleships.
Absolutely, they're comparative to the Soviet Kirov class.
Which, by the way, I could talk about those a little bit.
Go ahead.
Well, give me a second. So what you're going to end up having is that say JD Vance gets in for his first term, and then by that point in time, and the timing, it takes about 4 years for the design development process to occur. Once it's through the design development process, it's happening. Period. End of story. At least one of the motherfuckers is getting built.
Right.
And to couple onto that, Will, you said 3 to 5. I disagree. I'm pretty sure that these are definitely going to get upwards to 20. Because
that's how many we need.
Yeah, that's definitely how many you need.
Because one of the things that was identified is that you could have, and mind you, what we should build is 30, because
Yes,
you have 10 operating alongside the carriers as heavy escort. Then you have 10 operating independently as task force leaders. And then you have another 10 that can be in maintenance.
pretty much.
And mind you, independent surface combatant JP is not 128. That's the base loadout. It can have double that.
But no, it's a case of as soon as there is a Democrat trifecta on the Hill, those will be defunded even if we're making them.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, hold on.
Simply
Hold on.
because of the fact that Trump's name is on them.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
Real quick, Stoner or David, he's talking about Mitch, not me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's talking about Mitch, our resident bubblehead.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like nuclear submarine technician.
Yeah.
Like-
No, I was thinking of my exo friend.
Stoner, no, there's so the situation with JD, the GOP is trying to sideline JD.
Yeah.
At Trump's circle does not want to side because you can see how thick like JD and Rubio are thick as thieves.
Oh God, the two of them together.
It's
Good
fucking
point.
hilarious. Those two are thick as thieves, and they are kicking ass right now.
Absolutely. When people are like, Tulsi and JD aren't in the room, I'm like, that's because Trump's protecting them. That seems to be odd. Why do all these people I hang around with who read books and talk about geopolitics can't do basic geopolitical analysis?
Oh yeah. Well, like when Tulsi shows up in fucking Fulton County, and all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh,
Right?
Uh-oh.
Or
whoopsie."
about the fact that the U.S. had 130 biolabs sequestered around the world.
Well, so here's the thing. Fucking, when JD showed up at the negotiations with, when they sidelined what's his face, I forget his name. Who was the guy negotiating with Iran originally?
Wasn't
that Kushner?
Jared and Witkoff?
Yeah, Witkoff. When Witkoff got fucking sidelined by JD and Rubio.
Yeah.
Tulsi will be making a comeback. We know that.
Yeah.
That's
It's just in case
how her husband ends up doing.
Yeah, at this point in time, it's just a matter of Tulsi is going to go take care of her husband, and if he survives, she's going to come back, and she's not going to be jaded as fuck. If he doesn't survive, Tulsi's going to come back, and it's going to be everybody's fucking problem.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, JP, that is a good, not a. Okay, so it depends on who's building it. If it's Ingalls, expect it around.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, my connection. I don't know what's going on with my connection tonight. If it's Ingalls building it, expect that delivery to be like 36.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if it does make it through and hits and actually does hit the yards. I would think they're going to spread the construction out to as many yards as possible.
Oh yes, but the first hull, Ingalls is going to get it.
More than likely.
I at this point in time, with how quickly Ingalls was able to scoop up the Legend class or scoop up the contract for the frigate, I don't see any other yard getting a hold of the initial hull contract for the Trump class. Which again, if you take into account, we're already a year into the design development process. Let's estimate 2028 to 2029. They finish the they finish the design process, and then they push forward with building immediately. Ingalls could get it by 36. And JP, no, they are not doing nuclear for the first run, but I do believe that nuclear will be coming in the second run. So so they've already said that there's going to be 2 flights of 10. Now, I don't think it's going to be 2 flights of 10. I think it's going to be 2 flights of 11, personally.
That's how it used to be done, and the 11th was nuclear.
Well, and no. So in the case of this run, what I think is going to happen is that the first 11 are going to be the first 11 are going to be diesel, and those are going to be the independent operators for the most part. They can work with the carriers, but they're going to have to be refueled at sea. Whereas the second 11 are going to be nuclear, because then by that point, by the time we get those first 11 done, we will have all of the data from the first 11 available, those next 11, and on top of that, Korea would have expanded their nuclear reactor production.
Mm-hmm. And we'll have hard data on the power plants from the current generation of aircraft carriers.
Yep. And Stoner, in response to Huckabee has been ring fenced. He has been contained and he's being used.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Huckabee is buddy with Ben-Gvir. He's being used on that side on purpose.
Yep.
And the JP, the frigate you're referring to is the Legend class. However, what you also have to remember is that Ingalls promoted a design series about 12 years ago. Literally, the videos are on fucking YouTube. I can go find them for you. The idea is that it's a modular hull. The Legend class itself is about, I want to say it's like 10 or 15 yards shorter than the hull form that the frigate program will be using. The frigate program will have a slightly longer hull overall. What is that? It's not the beam. The beam is across. What's the from stem to stern? What's the term there?
I don't remember.
Shit. I'm.
What do I know about Ben-Gvir? He's an Israeli fanatic, from what I can tell. I don't know a lot more than that. The only real encounter with him was when I watched the BB files.
I would say he's an Israeli that's a fanatic, not no, I'm sorry. He's a fanatic that is Israeli, not an Israeli fanatic.
Oh, length, overall length.
Yeah, I see the distinction there.
Yeah. You can be an Israeli and regular, you can be an Israeli and a fanatic, or you can be a fanatic that lives in Israel.
It's overall length is the term I was looking for. I thought there was another term for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, he's the same as the ultra nationalists. Ben-Gvir is the same as the ultra nationalists in Russia. He's the same type of dude. Which now I said this on our recording earlier when we were recording for the Warwolf podcast. In my opinion, I'm starting to realize that there is a massive French connection between Ben-Gvir and Paris.
I can see.
There is like at this point in time, I'm not seeing as much London as I am seeing Paris, because the fervor by which they like. I'm sorry, Ben-Gvir supporters, the way they treat anybody who isn't a the lightest possible shade, it's very French coded. It's like anybody who is of any brown persuasion, like Ben-Gvir supporters, they will borderline lynch them. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, with that, guys, it's getting kind of late for me, and I'd like to head out and do some other things before bedtime. But I'm really glad that we got together tonight and had this conversation, and I really enjoyed the last few minutes when we were talking about all the new naval ships that are coming out.
We can sit down and do a naval centric show at some point in time in the near future.
Yeah.
I'd love to get my dude Mitch in here because he's the wealth of fucking knowledge that man is fucking amazing.
Yeah. And look, just because I'm traveling for the next 2 weeks doesn't mean I can't do two shows. It's just like whenever I hit my motel, I'm perfectly available for doing a show.
Yeah. Well, we'll get it figured out.
Yeah. Anyways, if you're watching this show and you like this kind of stuff and you want to see more, like, share, and subscribe to the Spyguy channel, and we'll do more stuff. But till then, bye-bye.